Greetings, Elder Blacklight. This video featuring Born Mastermind Outlaw. We're getting further into the serious times. It has to be done because the black man will survive the age of Aquarius. Matter of fact, we will be thriving. This is a continuation of what we started in the other videos. See, the Caucasoid is going through all these changes because he's not going to be able to stand the heat. And as we go through the video, you'll understand a little better.
One of the ancient symbols of Christianity was the fish. When he talked about Jesus feeding the multitude with 2 fish, they were only signifying the age of Pisces. And in the age of Pisces, what are they waiting for? They're waiting for the sun to return. Question is, what sun are they waiting for? They're waiting for the Son of Man. So here we are again. I remember it was a big thing, December 21st, 2012, everybody was waiting for it. Like they was going to see a big, dramatic change. Maybe some people did see changes. But just like people are waiting for spring, March 21st, it may snow that day. In fact, I think it did snow on the first day of spring of this year. That's right. So that don't mean you're going to see dramatic changes at once. It's a gradual process. But people were waiting for December 21st, 2012, waiting for this huge change. Now, it was a huge change because we had just peaked from the underworld and moving to ascension, right about there, as we move into the age of Aquarius. And that's how when you hear a lot of those old songs from the 60s where they talk about the dawning of the age of Aquarius, and they talk about how consciousness would raise, and they talked about how great the world would then become. They were only talking about as we moved out of the dark ages, we would then begin to receive more solar or star radiation that will then assist in raising the consciousness of the people. So now we just made a turn. So our solar system is now heading toward the Sirius star system. They're actually heading toward each other, toward the golden age. And this golden age is when they will be closest to one another. Let's hear a little bit of Greek mythology and see what they have to say about it. In Greek myth, Astraea is the virgin goddess of justice and righteous indignation who mingled among men in the golden age, which was a time of fairness, prosperity, and no wars. Once this golden age passed, the generation that followed was led by greed and was a generation where individuals chose to ignore the duty of justice and fairness. Still, Astraea walked among men, imploring them to be kinder to one another and to continue the old ways, but it was to no avail. It is stated that Astraea fled the earth to the heavens during the harsh lawlessness of the Bronze Age, and she could not stand the injustice and cruelty. Opting to reside in the heavens as the constellation of Virgo, Astraea refuses to show her face in the prayers of mankind, but will send Hermes, the messenger, with word regarding legal matters and what choices should be made in the path of righteousness. Rightful indignation. Now, what makes this important is we know where the Greek received their information. We know who educated and civilized the Greek people. It was our people. So, as they talk about Astraea, the virgin goddess of justice dwelling in the golden age, well, if you look here, this is the golden age. This is the same as this here. So as you go over here, the golden age is where? It would be here. So there you have Virgo, which is the virgin, and there you have Libra, which is represented by the scales of justice. So here you have the virgin goddess of justice. So a lot of this mythology, particularly when we study Kemet, we study our ancient ancestors, it was not just stories for the sake of stories, but it was true science that was packaged in the form of mythology or stories. And even if you look at the Greeks, who were educated and civilized by original people, our people, we know where they got this information from. So when they talk about Astrea, the virgin goddess of justice, they're only talking about the golden age, which is when we would then move into the age of Virgo and Libra. There's also some information that taught that Virgo, Libra, and Scorpio was once one sign. Okay? So keep that in mind as we're talking about the golden age, as we move through each one of these astronomical ages. The Iron Age or the Dark Age, we talk about less solar radiation, fall of man and the rule of the devil. Now when the messenger, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that the devil was predicted thousands of years in advance, 25,000 years in advance to be precise, because he taught that our ancestors, our great black scientists wrote history in advance 25,000 years. They knew that there would be a time when the original man, the black man, would fall. He would fall from grace. Now, if you know, being a melanin dominant people, we are a solar people. So if we move this far away from the natural solar and star radiation that we were accustomed to in these different ages, naturally we would then have a fall. You would have a loss of consciousness, because thoughts itself is nothing but electrical impulses in the brain. So we're talking about electricity. So naturally we could predict that those that would rule in a time of darkness, in a dark age, in an iron age, would be an anti-solar people. A people who's more compatible to fungus that hides from the sunlight. You couldn't have a people that is allergic to the sun, that gets skin cancer or melanoma from the sun in an age, in a golden age, when we're this close to our so-called sister star with this amount of solar and star radiation. It wouldn't happen. Now, just to show you this model here, as opposed to the other model I showed you, most research and scientists tell us that the golden age will actually be the longest period, as you see in this particular model. So if we show the 4 ages and compare them to the 4 seasons, the golden age will be summer, silver age, spring, bronze age, autumn or fall. The iron or dark age would be winter. Now we know what happened, particularly in New York and in the Northeast where we are, what happens during the winter months, during the autumn months. And if we know chlorophyll to be the cousin of melanin, we understand that during the autumn months, the leaves begin to what? Lose its color. As it begins to lose its color, as we are at a further distance from the what? Sun, they begin to lose its color, its melanin, and fall, and eventually die. Now, as we then get closer to the sun, you see life begin to happen again.
Check it out.
Go ahead, brother.
Let me see if I can correct you on one thing.
Okay.
I wouldn't say die. I just say transform.
Yes, sir.
Because, you know, the trees are energy.
Yes.
Energy can't die. So, you know, we just change forms. And that's what the tree is going through right now. Just a little transformation. So I like this presentation that you're putting up, because when you look at that, you can bring that right back to us too. Because we loses our color, we get pale when that sun is no longer coming through. Because you know that right there, the sun is a charger for our melanin. You see what I'm saying? So if we don't get charged up, we begin to get just like the damn tree and start, you know, the leaves don't fall. It's symbolic. You see what I'm saying? So we definitely loses our color as well. And you notice when the summer comes, we come right back to life, goddammit. We all come out, we right back there. And yo, man, this is beautiful what you're doing, bro.
Thank you, my
So
brother.
all energy is constant, you know.
That is an actual fact, so I will change that wording. Like you said, not die, but change form, because we don't die, we change form. And as like you were saying, you said it's symbolic. It's actually actual fact that our melanin, we can say, becomes deactivated in comparison to how it is when we are closer to the sun. And this is the state that we have been in for thousands of years now. We've been here. This is where you see the rise of Europeans. Yet we have made that turn. Let's go back. We have made that turn out of this Bronze Age. And we talked about, like you said, when we're away from that sun, we see what happens to the melanin, right? Now, if there's another sun out there, you know what's going to happen again as we get closer to this other sun or this other star. So we have made that turn into the Bronze Age. We're right here. So that's like making this turn here. You're going to see us start to bud, start to flower, blossom, until we get back here. There's nothing but the law of cycles. So when we know this science, then we're not upset. We not running around here like chickens with our head cut off wondering what we gonna do. We don't even fear anyone anymore because we understand the laws of cycles and we understand that we're coming back. So heading towards a golden age, right? As we get closer to the Sirius star system, we have a changing of the Earth's magnetic field. I'm gonna do a whole, one day you invite me back, I'll do a whole presentation on that alone, how the Earth's magnetic field is beginning to change. They have measured it over 100 years and saw it getting weaker and weaker because we were still moving away. We were still moving away from that. But as we begin to move closer, we're going to see the Earth's magnetic field change.
Yeah, ready or not, here we come. Getting down. Just for the funk of it. Yeah, dig this. We're coming back. You ready to rule? Sugar and sugar, salt and salt. If you still ain't getting it, if you still ain't getting off, it ain't my fault. Black light.